No matter what age of vehicle you like to see, no matter what type of vehicle you like to see, you'll find it here in the Audrain Museum Network. Become a subscriber now to be sure to catch all of the great vehicles we bring to you. The fact that we lost all of the new cars that would have come out during the time when World War II was going on is really brought into sharp relief when you look at the design of this 1941 Chevy truck compared to the 1940. And the fact that in 1946 they brought back basically this same design. You can tell that it's really influenced by the Harley Earl Motorama show cars with a waterfall grille and a very automotive look. This, ironically, being the first GM truck built on a dedicated truck chassis as opposed to a car chassis, it looks more like a car than ever before. And I think that that's a pretty fascinating thing, and something that sets these apart. It still has that wonderful 1930s streamlined look, but it looks forward into the 1940s and ultimately the 50s. There's just something so direct and rewarding about driving a truck of the era that I'm driving right now. This is a 1941 Chevrolet Deluxe pickup, and in an age when pickup trucks are luxury cars, this is a reminder of the days when they were not. This is also notable, the 41s, for being the first true dedicated chassis built for truck use by GM. All the trucks that preceded this were based on automotive chassis, and this is the first one built as a truck. And a 1941 truck is a very different vehicle than a 1951 truck, a 1961 truck, or a 1971 truck. All of the controls are very deliberate, and of course, riding on nylon tires, like this one is, as it was originally, means that on a cold day like it is right now, the tires have to sort of warm up themselves to become truly round. And tram lining, which is the phenomenon in which the tread of the tire follow any grooves in the road, is really pronounced. It's not uncontrollable, but it's something you need to be aware of. It actually teaches you a very good habit when driving of not gripping the steering wheel too tightly. You have to let the vehicle do what it's going to do, and then you lightly correct so you don't go wandering all over the road. But this Chevy truck series was really a remarkable thing for General Motors, and of course this is the last truck introduced before World War II. And the design was carried over after the war in the 46 trucks as well. And there is, in this and the GMC counterparts, a real difference in the way these handle. I've driven a 1937 GMC truck. I actually fell in love with it. And with the car-based chassis, it's a lot easier to handle and frankly a lot more pleasant in so many ways than this truck is to drive. But if the line was to grow and the engines to get ever more powerful, then a dedicated chassis was required. A 216 cubic inch inline six certainly gives all of the power that the farmer or tradesman needed. This particular example is also very interesting in that, with the exception of a rather fancy exterior paint job, much of this truck is remarkably original, and it comes with an incredible trove of documentation from the original owner. And it really gives you an idea of what a truck like this meant. To buy a new truck in 1941, when the Depression was not quite lifted. It wouldn't happen until World War II, basically, in the U.S. economy. But it showed a lot of confidence in the future and in what you needed to do. And this is definitely a truck that looked towards the future. Now, to compare it to some of the other trucks of the era, it's slightly difficult because, as I said, GM was going through a great period of transition with this truck, and some of its competitors were still the car-based type trucks, and some with a dedicated chassis. But nonetheless, this has a solidity that you don't find sometimes in the earlier trucks, and you can tell that this is the chassis that's designed to take more power and more weight as you get out of the half-ton truck category and into the larger ones. This truck has a lot in common with my beloved veteran cars. You have to be aware of what it's doing all the time and really stay sharp. And frankly, that's not a bad thing, because this is a vehicle that does not want to be driven very quickly. It wasn't designed to do that, although it's got a rather optimistic 100 mile per hour speedometer, which I find quite amusing. This really does take you back to a very different era indeed.